Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Woody Show. But I'm going to change the title of this to it's either going to be the Woody and Micky or the Woody, Micky and Tracy Show. I think I don't know. I don't know what to change the title to. I'm thinking maybe old farts. Old farts have fun. Maybe that's the one. I'm actually going out on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Reddit's working. So I'm just going to send Micky. I'll do that over Facebook, Micky.
Roger.
I'll just send you the link to the. I'll do it in the chat we've got. Yep. There's the link to the stream. So hopefully you should be able to see that there. So that's come out on Reddit in distant socialising, because that's what I am. I'm still distant socialising, which is why I haven't been streaming from the pub lately. Because of that, because it's too dangerous at the moment for me to actually go out in amongst people. So just give me a few minutes. I'm just gonna do a couple of things, and I'll be with you completely. And I'll bring Micky in. It's just Micky tonight. Tracy can't make it tonight. It's just Micky tonight with me. So I'll bring Micky in a couple of minutes. What I'm doing is, because I've normally have a lot of problems actually getting Reddit to fire up. It's actually a nightmare to get onto Reddit sometimes, but I've just got Reddit to fire up on about the 5th attempt, so that's quite handy. So
we already have one watch.
Quite good.
Unless that's me.
They can't hear you yet, Micky.
No, I'm just saying there's one watcher, but I don't know. There's 5 now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've just got that. So in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've got Micky in my earpiece here. I can hear him, but you can't. But that's because I haven't brought him in yet. And I will do once I've got everything set up and working. So that's that. Let me just try something else.
Falling down.
Yeah. I need the URL for this on YouTube, so I'm going to try and advertise the broadcast tonight, Micky, in different places. So you just have to bear with me while I'm farting about. I've taken so long to get Reddit working that nothing else is working in different places. So you just have to bear with me while I'm farting about. Right. Okay. Let's just copy that out. All right, let's see if I can find that group. I found a Facebook group that I thought I might advertise it in. Anyway, we're live from London, and it's basically just old farts being old farts and showing people. Good evening, Paul Littleford on Facebook. How you doing, my friend? I've got my friend Micky, who's another old fart, who's going to be coming along with me in a minute. And Paul, as soon as you're here, I'll tell you about what's gone on today. Yesterday, actually, at the doctor's, I had a. Just let me post this in there, and I'll be with you. Oh, right. Right, that's that. Right. Okay. Right. Hopefully that should go out on lots of other ones. So let's have a look. We've got Reddit there. Yep, we're working on Reddit. We're working on YouTube. Let me just fire up Twitch to confirm we're working on Twitch. I had to have a for those that don't know, I've got cancer. I've got follicular lymphoma, which is an incurable cancer. And yesterday I had to have a biopsy. The reason I have to have a biopsy is because I've been having some extra symptoms just lately. There'll be more. Hang on, Fred Herbert's plant. There'll be more old people coming on in a minute. It's just me for the moment. I just want to do the channel intro, and then I'll bring the other people on. Matt Russell 1021 on Reddit there. Good evening. It's not going to be 3 old people tonight, and I can't change the title of the stream. It's going to be 2 old people. So I just want to do this little bit, and then I'll bring the other person on. So yeah, I had to have a surgery, a biopsy on my groin, on a lymph node on my groin yesterday, which is not a very pleasant experience if you've ever had one. They anaesthetise the skin and then cut it with a scalpel, and then they put this dirty, great big needle, which is about that long, into your groin and into the lymph node, and then take a sample. And apparently, it's supposed to be completely painless. Well, in my case, it wasn't. As soon as the needle hit the lymph node, I was literally ugh, like that. I think I jumped up. I think I left teeth and finger marks in the ceiling where it was in so much pain. And then the doctor said he took the needle back out again and it stopped hurting. And he said, "I need to do another one. Are you going to be okay for another one?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be fine for another one." And then he stuck it in, and then it hurt again. And by this time, I was a sweating, trembling wreck. And the doctor said, "Right, okay." He said, "There's something funny here." He said, "This isn't supposed to hurt, but every time I stick the needle in this point here, it hurts. What do you think?" And I said, "Well, stop fucking sticking it in that point there, then." So I'm having this biopsy because I'm having a few symptoms, and they think my cancer might have transformed into something more serious. So I've got about to wait a week. I've got to wait about a week for the results of that, and they will tell me, and that will decide what treatment I'm going on. Anyway, let me just see if I can bring Micky in, which I think I can. I can see him on my local screen here. So let's just make sure he appears on the other one. Right. There we go. Can you all see Micky? Say hi, Micky. Yeah, hopefully they can all hear you as well. So it looks like they can all hear you. Fred Herbert's plant. Oh, tell me. I almost had a vasectomy last week, decided not to avoid PVPS. I have no idea what PVPS is. I'm assuming when you say constant ball pain, that's what PVPS is, constant ball pain. So I had a vasectomy. I had my vasectomy in 1990, either 1990 or 1991. I did that because my wife had been on the pill long term, and it's dangerous when you've been on the pill long term. I had mine done. I cheated. A lot of people have their vasectomies done under local anaesthetic, but I didn't. I had my vasectomy done under a general anaesthetic. Good evening, Miss Mouse W. How are you? Miss Mouse WC, in fact. How are you? And yeah, so anyway, yeah, Micky. So come on, say hello. Let's introduce Micky. Micky, he's the other old fart. There's normally three of us, but tonight there can only be two of us. So here's the other old fart. So if anyone can count, we'll just pretend there's three of us, right, Micky?
Yeah. Mathematics is going to school these days, so.
No.
And talking about because I had in 1988. It's very liberating, I found. Very liberating.
Yes, it is. Yeah. You can fuck anything with a pulse once you've had a yeah. Once you've had a I must stop saying the F word because it makes it hang on. Apparently you're echoing, Micky, so I know what I've done there.
I've got my mic.
Yeah, no, I've got it running on one. I've got it running on one screen where it shouldn't be running. So no, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be echoing. No, it shouldn't be echoing.
That's all right, Miss Mouse. It's good to hear me twice. All three times.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Fred Herbert's plant on Reddit. Who are you referring to is older than you by 6 years? Me or Micky? Because I can tell you, Micky, you are. I'm 62 and Micky is like 97, aren't you, Micky?
That's it. Yeah. 66.
Yeah, that's it. So he's an old boy. He's really old.
Yeah. I got my pension payment this week.
Have you?
Yeah, fucking peanuts, mate. Peanuts.
What is that?
I've got to go out and find another job now.
Well, you're talking about the state pension or your own pension?
Yeah.
About 135 a week, isn't it?
185.
185?
Yeah.
Not a lot, is it?
No, it's all, mate. Good job the missus. I've got her out working.
Oh, right, okay. I'm glad you sent her out working.
Oh, yeah, she got another 10 years crack the whip.
Oh, yeah. All right, talking about Mrs. Talking about Mrs. Yeah, thank you, Miss Math WC. Thank you for coming over from Reddit onto Twitch. I'm pleased about that because Reddit just lately since they've messed about with RPAN, Miss Math on Twitch there. Since they've messed about with RPAN, Reddit has been real crap for streaming. It used to be the best, but now it's real crap. And Twitch is I think Twitch is a much better thing. So thank you for coming over. I do appreciate that. I've totally lost the train of thought there. So what I'll do is I will ask Fred Herbert's Tron or Matt Russell's 1021 on Reddit. Is Mickey echoing to you? Because I can't work out why. He shouldn't be echoing at all. And I can't work out why. Unless that's the reason. If we try that, does that stop the echoing? Does that stop the echoing?
I'll just say a few words for you, Mouse, so you can tell whether I'm echoing or not.
Right, so let's not have any dead air. So what we'll do is we'll do beer de jour here. So beer de jour, right? The beer de jour. Today's beer de jour is not a beer. Today's beer de jour is Strongbow cider, and I don't normally eat cider. Thank you, Paul, there on Facebook saying no echoing. I found what the problem was. So thank you for doing
Actually,
that.
That's a nice one, that is, Steve.
Yeah, it's a cider, and it's not an ordinary cider. It's a dark fruit cider. These are actually quite dangerous, Mickey, and this doesn't pretend to be anything else. It's made in Britain, and it's a British beer, and it doesn't pretend to be anything else like that. But these are quite dangerous, Mickey, these dark fruit ciders.
Yeah, because it's like drinking squash, mate.
Exactly, it's like drinking. It's like drinking. It's like drinking a drink that you don't need to be drinking. And it is deadly, but that's what I've got in the fridge, so that's what I've got in the fridge. Miss Mass WC on Twitch says, I thought about you often, glad to see you're still streaming. Thank you, yes, glad to see I'm still streaming as well. I quite enjoy streaming. I'm glad to see I'm still doing it.
Old Fart has roped me in as well, so
sorry, Mickey?
To this, but it's good. I said the old fart has roped me into this as well.
Yeah, you're on. You're not on beer, are you? You're on tea, aren't you?
I love my granddad. Cup of tea.
It's all right. It's not teetotal. It's not teetotal.
He's got tomorrow night, and I'm driving in the morning. When I drive, I do not drink any alcohol the night before if I've got to go out driving. It goes back to my lorry driving days. So no alcohol tonight for me. But I'll be pissed as a fart tomorrow night.
Yeah. All Littleford there on Facebook says it rots your guts, and Fred Herbert's plant on Reddit says I love cider, but sometimes I find it too damn sweet and acidic, makes my tummy hurt. So you're like my friend Paul there.
I think there he's talking about the apple cider, because some of the apple ciders can be like that, but once you've got the fruit in them, it changes the whole dynamic of it, I think.
Well, I think what this is, an apple cider, but just flavoured with.
It's flavoured up with dark fruits. That's all. But some of the pear ciders are very nice.
Oh yeah, Thatcher's.
Yeah,
Thatcher's does a lovely pear cider.
Yeah.
That I enjoy. Miss Mass WC says very nice about the not drinking. If everybody knew their limits, I agree. I agree. When I used to be a cab driver, and like Mickey, I used to not drink the night before I was driving, which I think is a very sensible thing. And I think what happens to me is too many people try and gamble. They play Russian roulette with thinking they know how many drinks they've had and how many unis they've had. So that's a bit. That's something that I've never done, because a lot of people say, yeah, well, if I drink 8 pints and my body takes I think it's an hour per pint. The average person takes
hour per unit, Steve.
Yeah, hour per unit.
Well, a unit is half a pint. which is where people get confused.
Yeah. Well, I was
so 8 pints is 16 hours.
Hmm.
But they think, oh yeah, 8 pints, 8 hours. No, it doesn't work like that.
No. Right. Let's. No, it doesn't. So of course I get caught out with the drink driving. Jinx Baby on Reddit. Hello, gentlemen. I know it's my first grey pubic hair, and I'm super sad. How did you get over this? Well, to be honest, you getting grey pubic hair really doesn't bother me. So I've got nothing to get over. What about you, Micky?
Well, I borrow the Mrs. Emac, so I don't have any at all.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's simple then, isn't it? Huh? You don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
We just look at my head though. Silver ghost.
Yeah. So no, Jinx Baby. Sorry. You meant how did I? You meant sorry. My mistake. I'm looking at your thing, and you meant how did I thought you meant how did I get over your grey pubic hairs, and I thought it don't bother me, so I didn't. So how did I get over mine? Right. Well, okay. I've got cancer, and I'm on immunotherapy. This little tablet here. This little tablet here does wonders, right? It's better than shaving. It's better than IMAC. From there downwards, I'm completely hairless. I lost all my hair. I'm starting to lose it quite seriously on my head. The only place I don't lose it is on my. I hate having to shave, right? I hate having to shave, and I'm not losing it on my face. I wish I did, but I'm not losing it on my face. So I never had anything to go over with. I've just my hairs, my pubes could well be grey, but then my big beer belly stops me from seeing it. The only way I'll see if I did have hair, the only way I could see it was stand up in front of a mirror. So that's the only way that's my opinion on that. But it's like my hair going grey. It's getting it's part of getting old. It happens, doesn't it, Micky? You don't worry about it. Nah. I'm not one of these, don't, do you?
I don't worry about things anymore now.
Oh, you don't worry about comb overs or any of this silliness, do you? That's the only reason I keep my hair short, because I'm starting to go bald up there and on top and on the back, and it's a bit silly trying to grow my hair to cover the bald spot. So I just let it grow. And that's that. So yeah, Miss Smash WC, I do on Miss Smash WC on Twitch. There says I must have hours and hours of cats. Yeah, I do. Most of them I can't repeat. Although I do remember a young lady got in the back of the car, and she was obviously completely naked apart from her coat. I didn't know that at the time, and we did the journey, and we got to the end, and I said that would be £20, please, and she looked at me. She opened up her coat, spread her legs, opened up her coat, completely naked, and she looked at me and said, "Will this do?" And all I could do was look at her and say, "Well, you've got anything smaller." Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Jinx Baby there on Reddit says, "What do you guys do about damn kids getting on your lawn? It bothers me." Machine gun nests. What about you, Micky?
Yeah, well, no, I've got a little puppy dog. Well, I say little puppy. She is little, but she's Jack Russell. So you don't come on my lawn. Little ankle biters get their little ankles bit. Put it that way. Yeah.
My front lawn has actually got a hedge around the front of it, so you can't actually get onto my front lawn. So I don't have that problem. Besides, where I live, there aren't that many children around. I think actually I can show you my front lawn. Let me just see if I've got it set up. No, I haven't. That's complicated because I've got to remember the IP address of my. I've got CCTV and I can't off the top of my head remember the IP address of my cameras, so I can't show you. But as we're going along, I'll see if I can sort it out. But I don't think I. Pardon me, I don't think I can. Paul Littlefoot there on Reddit, no, on Facebook, agrees that if you don't drink, if you're going to drive, that's absolutely right. Right, Micky, go on, you take some questions now. There's a couple there on Reddit. Look,
what we got on Reddit there? What do you guys do about it? We've done that. People are driving way too fast on my street and they think me yelling at them to slow down isn't doing anything. Well, no, it won't. But you want to borrow a couple of those strips that the police use, puncture a few tyres.
Stingers.
Doing it then. Sorry?
Stingers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, stingers. Chuck a few stingers out, that'll sort them out.
Yeah.
You tell them a grumpy old git, can't you?
Yeah. I'm just wondering there, Jinx baby. When you say you're yelling at them, are you indoors yelling at them as they drive past, or do you actually go out and yell at them? I'm just curious there.
Yeah, he needs to open the window if he's indoors.
Yeah. I'm just curious about that. Oh. Oh. Oh.
You get a lot of speeding up my road, but there's cars parked both sides, so there's going to be an accident out here one day. There you go, look. Fred Herbert's plan's got the answer. You can make one with a garden hose and some nails and snare wire. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
That'll sort them out.
There you go. There you go. Do you know what, Micky? I can't remember the IP address of my front camera. If I could, I'd show you what my street looks like. I actually live in a very, very quiet residential road. And because the way the cars are parked on the side of the road, it turns the road into a sort of single carriageway, so you can't get two cars passing like that, which actually does to reduce the speed of traffic that does come past along the road there. Saying that, I've had 2 cats killed by traffic out there over the years. I've been here 24 years, and I've had 2 cats killed by being run over by cars over there. But I don't know whether that was speed involved. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know whether speed was involved. I'm gonna change the subject a minute because Micky said the one thing we can't talk about is Archie Battersbee.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Archie Battersbee. For those that don't know who Archie Battersbee is, I suggest you Google him. It's a big news story in the United Kingdom at the moment. Archie Battersbee. He's a 12-year-old boy that was doing, as I understand it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, please do. As I understand it, he was doing something like a TikTok challenge, which involves hanging.
Been denied by TikTok.
Which has been denied by TikTok, of course.
And they've got an apology for it because it's not broken, and the police have looked into it. And
is that what happened? Was he doing a challenge?
Well, no.
Oh, right, okay, so that's just urban legend then. So, all right. Well, he hung himself, and he is legally brain dead. He's been brain dead for a couple of weeks now, and his mother has been taking. The doctors want to switch off his life support, and his mother has been taking the medical profession to court over the last 3 weeks to keep their son alive, and she keeps losing and then appealing and losing and appealing. Her son is still alive at the moment, but the doctors want to switch off the ventilators. There's no life there. By every definition of life as we understand it, it's gone. His heart is beating, his lungs are working. That's because it's a machine doing it for him. There's no brain activity. He's brain stem dead. But his mother is convinced that he will recover, and she wants him kept alive. My own personal view on that is, over the years I've had animals, and I've always had my animals put to sleep when the time is right. I've not let them suffer any longer than is necessary. And I think this Archie Battersbee thing, his mother is hanging on to hope, and the hope is a bit cruel. And I think she should let him. She should let him go. She should let him go. She should just say goodbye because he's not there. His body's still working because the machines are keeping him alive. But whatever made him Archie went weeks ago. I think his mother's just clinging onto a false hope. Micky?
I can't disagree with any of that, to be honest. I think she's running out of appeals now, and I think this charade and I call it a charade because that's what it is now, should have ended weeks ago. The poor boy's body is just wasting away. Just give him a bit of dignity and just let him go to sleep peacefully now. I think I've got nothing more to say on it.
That's fair enough. Paul Littleford on Facebook says he's experienced the same thing with a friend. And I think anybody that's had a pet has experienced the same dilemma. When do you let the pet go? I was just talking about this with Micky before we came on the air. I mean, I had a German Shepherd who I absolutely loved. But I had her put down when her bowels went. Every time she'd laid down and she stood up, she'd shit herself. And she'd turn around and she'd look at it and then she'd smell it and then she'd look at me looking completely guilty and she'd say, did I do that? Because she had no idea that she was doing it and she had no control over her bowels at all. And I had her put down. And a couple of people have berated me for it and saying, well, there's nothing wrong with her mind. And I said, no, there's nothing wrong with her mind. Well, you could have kept her alive. You could have got her nappies. And I thought to myself, no, I did the right thing, I think. I think if I'd have kept her alive, I could have maybe got another 2-3 months out of her. There was German Shepherds suffer with a back hip dyslexia is the thing they suffer with, and her back legs were going, and that's where her bowels went because the nerves that go to her back legs. She didn't know that she was pooing herself, and a few people said you've got to get a couple of months out of her by getting nappies and maybe a trolley for her to walk around in. And I knew that I knew that I'd done the right thing at the right time because if I'd have kept her alive any longer, it wouldn't have been for her benefit. It would be purely for mine. You know, there was no dignity for her. There was no, you know, it was the right time. I'm I'm quite happy with that. So I think with Archie Battersbee, the time has come to let go. Right, what have we got? Which Paul Littleford has said about. I'll tell you another cat story in a couple of minutes. Paul Littleford has said about that. That he had a friend. His wife agreed to end his life. So I don't know if Paul's going to expand on that anymore. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, no dignity for the dog. Indeed, it was the right thing to do. Big Bear, 2G19 says, "What is TV license? Watch TV in the UK?" I don't know why they call it a TV license. It's the wrong word. It's a TV tax, and
Yeah.
it's what about 150 a year, Micky?
Oh, I can't remember now. I pay mine monthly, mate.
Yeah, I do as well. I pay mine monthly.
You know,
It's about £150 a year, and basically it's a tax to watch television. They call it a TV license, but effectively it's a TV tax. And one of the debates that's going on in this country at the moment is to get rid of it because what it does is it funds the BBC. The BBC doesn't make commercials. It's not like the other. It's not like commercial television stations or satellite stations that depend on advertiser revenue to fund themselves. The BBC is funded purely from the TV license, which, as I say, is something like television tax. Is the word? It's something we have to pay. And if you watch a television and you don't pay this television license, you can actually be prosecuted for it.
well, it's a civil offence. It's not a criminal offence. It's a civil offence.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you don't pay your TV licence, although you can go to prison, you don't get a prison record. Work that one out.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but from what I understand, they're trying to phase it out, or the government, well, the sham of a government, are. I think they were talking about phasing it out, or.
Good night, Fred Herberts.
See you, Fred Herbert. Sleep well.
Go on, carry on, Mick.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying. I think they're going to phase it, or they're talking about phasing it out over in the next few years. But it's about time it's past its fit for purpose date, and I really think that now with the onslaught you've got from Prime TV on Amazon, you've got Netflix, you've got Discovery Plus, you've got all these streaming programs. Make it like those. If you want it, pay a subscription. If you don't want it, like I bloody well don't, although the missus would kill me because she wouldn't get to see her EastEnders. Don't pay it. Yeah, it's well past its sell-by date, mate. Well past its sell-by date.
Good evening, Klein 643. No, I'm not drinking Budweiser. I'm drinking cider. I'm drinking.
Klein's back, is he?
Yeah, he's back. He's one of my regulars, Klein.
Well, he's come to bug us again, has he?
Yeah, I'm drinking one of my regular. I'm drinking. Oh, pardon me. Strongbow dark fruit cider. Oh, pardon me. So anyway, good night, Fred Herbert's plant. Paul Littleford on Facebook said that he's experienced, talking about this death thing, he's experienced it with a friend where his wife agreed to end his life because he got punched in a drunken fight. The assaulter handed himself in and after a trial was found not guilty. Hey, that's a bit of a tragic story. That is a bit of a tragic story. Yeah. Fred Herbert's plant said last night, I think I shit the bed. Well, I think that's all we need to know about that, isn't it, Micky?
I mean, yeah, we don't need
because Micky's a lot older than me. I mean, is that a problem for you, Micky?
Not at the moment. Or the wife hasn't complained yet.
All right, okay.
It's me that complains about the damp patch, not her.
All right, okay. Unless, of course, she's Amber Heard, then shitting on the bed is compulsory.
Oh, well, that's compulsory then, isn't it?
Yeah, that is actually compulsory. That is actually compulsory.
Oh, she's still bloody trying to get to simply vote, that woman. Why didn't she just shut up for 5 minutes and just go away and let people forget? Amberturd, they call her, isn't it, now?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got that the end of the Wagatha trial, which is Rebecca Vardy and Colleen Mooney. Rebecca Vardy took Colleen Mooney to court over Colleen Mooney, yeah, over an allegation that Colleen Mooney made, which the judges decided was true. And this Rebecca Vardy has turned out to be a proven liar. And I was reading an interview with her. on in the press this morning, actually, and she said, "Yeah, despite me losing the trial and despite what the judge said, I've got plenty of offers for work." And I'm thinking, really, what big brand is going to take a known liar and have them as their spokesperson? And I don't think anyone is. And in fact, I think the only job that she's now perfectly qualified for is Boris Johnson's press agent.
Or party organizer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. With a known track record of lying, she could only be Boris Johnson's press agent. Micky, Klein 643 has asked a question there.
He has. On Klein 643 on Reddit says, "What's your favourite thing about being British and your least favourite?" Well, I think my least favourite is probably the weather. We Brits love to moan about the weather, but we live in a temperate climate. What's my favourite thing about being British? It's a very hard one, to be fair, but it's probably the favourite thing I like about being British is because I'm British. I should imagine it's the same for everybody, every nationality. Why do they look so pissed off? Who are they going to kill? What's the fuck are you on about now? But yes, my favourite thing about being British, the British people, I think. Absolutely. The British people. There's such a mix from up north to down south where Steve is, where they're, the southern softies and the northern. Yeah, it's just a mix of people, I think. Yeah.
My answer is going to be a lot simpler than yours, Micky.
Yes.
Because my favourite thing about being British and my least favourite thing about being British are the same thing.
You're British?
No, the National Health Service.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The fact that I get free healthcare is absolutely wonderful. The fact that I actually have to wait weeks for it is a nightmare. So that's why it's that's the least favourite thing about being British. It's the National Health Service and long waiting times. But the actual best thing about being British is the National Health Service. There you go. So,
what we must take into account just now is that we've just come through this pandemic, and yes, there's a lot of staff have been working on that, and now they're playing catch up. So again, but they've been underfunded for 20, 30 years. It's no good people saying just the past 12 years they've been underfunded. They've been underfunded for 20, 30 years. Government on government have made cuts to the National Health Service. They're trying to outsource more and more. What they're actually trying to, I think, is privatise it by the back door.
yeah, very possibly. I just want to check something with you spelt PH, not F.
Yes.
Says, why do they look so pissed off? Who are they going to kill? Who are you referring to? Looks so pissed off. And Mohammed Hani Creative Met says, do you like Oxygen and how would you rate it? Well, I've actually got 3 of John Michel Jarre's LPs, and I rate them quite highly. What about you, Micky?
Well, yeah, Oxygen, fantastic, yeah. But yeah, how would I rate it? I rate this a gas. I really do.
Yeah. I've got quite a few. I've got 3 of his LPs. I've got Oxygen, Oxygen 2, and Oxygen 6. And I quite
like Oxygen.
I actually think they're quite good. I saw him in concert many, many years ago, and he was playing the keyboard. He had coming down from the ceiling with just laser beams, and he was playing by putting his hand inside each laser beam. Yes, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That was at the O2. Was it the O2 or was it when? No, it might be Alls Court. Oh God, it's gone back years. Gone back years. But yeah, that's
well, it's before 2020, then it wouldn't be the O2.
No, it would be the Millennium Dome.
Yeah.
But
no, it wasn't the Millennium Dome. It weren't built until 2020.
Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it. I've got a funny feeling it might have been Alls Court, but yeah.
Probably, well, fuck you said both of you. You both seem so sad, but we're all right.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
He's quite happy. He had his nuts felt by the doctor yesterday. So.
Yeah, I did. See, Paul Littleford remembers Jean-Michel Jarre. He was Paul Littleford there on Facebook remembers Jean-Michel Jarre.
I remember back in the 80s, I think that was it 80s or it could be even 90s?
Oh, Jean-Michel Jarre was from the 70s.
70s, yeah.
Because him and Mike Oldfield were always sort of battling for the top spot of the album charts. So yeah.
I love Tubular Bells. That was an absolutely fantastic.
Oh, Tubular Bells was as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar. Oxygen and Tubular Bells are very similar in their style.
Yeah.
There was another one that there was another one at the same time who was not as well known, Rick Wakeman.
Oh, he's absolutely fantastic. He played piano before he actually was famous. He was a session pianist. He played for, I think I'm right in saying he played on one of the Beatles tracks and loads of famous people back in the day before he actually made a name for himself. Can you just switch me off a minute, Steve, please?
Yeah, I'll switch off. Nicky's going to have a cigarette, and I don't like him smoking on air, so let's just turn Micky off. He can still hear you, and he can still talk. No, he can't. I can only hear you. Right. Top Gun Maverick 44 says, just graduated university, feeling a bit lost. How did you find out what you wanted to do with your life? What are your passions? For me, university was, when I say university, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I am not kidding. I spent 3 years at university, and it was either getting stoned, getting laid, or getting drunk. How I actually managed to learn anything, how I even got a degree is beyond me. That was an amazing thing. That was how I actually learned anything. Was all I did. I learned how to make love, and I learned how to smoke a joint. But I don't remember much else from my university time. I had a life plan actually of what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to join. My father was a policeman. Sadly, he was killed in the line. He was killed in the line of duty. and I always wanted to be a policeman. So from the time I was about 16 when I left school, I aimed to be a policeman. And one thing that you could do when you're in the police force, you can fast track your way to promotion by entering with a degree. Now my degree is in modern history, and I studied modern history. It doesn't matter what degree it is, as long as you've got a degree. And that was my aim at the start of university. However, I decided during the first year that there was absolutely no way that I could be a policeman, because I started to experience life as an adult then, and I could see some of the shit that policemen have to deal with. They have to deal with, and I thought, I can't do that. I can't deal with what they have to deal with and remain impartial. I mean, I, I couldn't, and I still can't. I can't imagine. I can't imagine going to arrest some 6'2", 15-stone bloke that's just assaulted his 5-year-old daughter and not want to put my hands around his throat. So I decided that perhaps it takes somebody special to be a policeman, and I decided that couldn't be me. So halfway through the university, I decided I wanted to be a printer. I know that sounds a really strange career choice, but I'd actually decided I wanted to be a printer. But that's down to my grandmother's boyfriend, who actually ran a paper bag merchant who used to print logos on the paper bags. And he used to let me play about with, whenever I used to go to stay with my grandmother, he used to let me play about with the printing presses, and put the things on there. I used to enjoy it. So I decided to become a printer. So by the time I'd left university, I already, I already, I already decided what I wanted to do, and that was my life plan. And I did. I became a printer. So, so that that was there. I mean, I don't envy anybody going to university at the moment, but like I say, I was already sorted. I had my own thing. My passions now are a lot different from the passions that I had when I was a teenager, young adult. So I've got completely different passions. In fact, my passions now, my greatest passion is I enjoy making videos. If you ever look at my YouTube, which is there, if you ever look at my YouTube, you can see the videos that I make, and I enjoy making the videos. So I am Tail Lambo. What happens when you cut the oxygen supply to the king? I don't understand that at all. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. You lose the heir to the throne. Gotcha. Right. Okay. That was a funny. Okay. That was a funny. Right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't see that. Impossible Bit 7169 on Reddit asks, am I at a pub? No, I'm at home. This is a green screen I'm sitting behind. And I think that Paul Littleford on Facebook says, I did a copper's job in Northern Ireland with the army, but hitting people and nicking them in a riot counts for zilch. No, I don't know. It depends. If you enjoy hitting people and nicking them, it might count for a lot.
I did that too, Paul. I was there too, Paul. 76.
Oh yeah. Cause Micky was in the army. Yeah.
76. I was there.
My other passion is not making videos. My other passion is streaming. In on Reddit, because Reddit you have to broadcast in subreddits. I'm actually broadcasting in the distant socialising subreddit, because that's basically what I'm doing. I am distantly socialising. I have cancer. I'm immunocompromised, and now the COVID rates have gone back up again. I have to keep indoors and I have to keep away from people. So I'm which is why I'm distantly socialising. Fucking hell, I forgot where I was. No, I've completely lost track of what I was talking about. Yes, so my other passion is stress. Yeah, I know where I am. So my other passion is worth making videos. It's related. It's streaming. I enjoy streaming because it is. This is my social life. If it wasn't for streaming, I think I'd go mad because because I'm immunocompromised and because the COVID rate is high, I have to stay indoors away from people. So I'm missing that social interaction. Like I said at the very beginning of this stream, I used to be a cab driver, and we had a lot of cab drivers. Are very social people, and I was a very social person. COVID forced me to take early retirement, and for me, streaming, talking to you guys, this is my social life. So that's my other passion. Things you asked. Go on, sorry, Micky. Oh, turn your mic on.
Sorry, Klein643 on Reddit has just asked us Paul McCartney or Mick Jagger. Well, it's Mick Jagger for me any day. I'm an old rocker at heart. None of this. But then again, having said that, I quite like the Beatles, so but it was, I was a bit of a rebel, so it had to be Jagger for me.
Paul Littleford on Facebook is going. So yeah, I've met Paul, by the way, Micky.
Yeah.
So Paul, I'll speak to you later. Paul's a cancer survivor like me. So Paul, yeah, we'll talk another time. So nice to see you, Paul.
Probably speak to you again, Paul. Yeah.
Micky, do you understand what fuck you's on about?
Let me have a look.
On Reddit.
I'm fucking curious about you two. What are you going to absolutely hide? Questions for the two of you. I'm going to hide nothing. You ask me a question, I'll answer it if I can.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not. Are you saying we're trying to hide something, or what? Fuck you. I don't quite understand your question. By the way, Paul McCartney. For me, Paul McCartney.
But Steve's just explained while he does the streaming, and it just happens one night he asked me if I'd like to come along and do a bit, and that's been about 4 weeks I've been doing it now. So nothing to hide. We're just here, just trying to have a laugh, speak to a few people, which I mean, when Steve's stuck at home on his own, doesn't see people, obviously it must get a bit lonely. So talking to you guys is his outlet. So we've got nothing to hide. We're just having a bit of fun.
I used to do it on my own, but to be honest, when you're streaming for 2 to 3 hours at a time, trying to stop dead air where nothing happens, and trying to keep the conversation going on your own, it's actually quite hard. So when I share it with Micky, and on Monday it'll be Micky and Tracy, it makes it a lot easier because it takes some of the strain off me. Thank you for following Mortal Monkey Immortal. Thank you for following me. So does that answer your question? Fuck you, even though I'm not sure if I understood your question. And thank you, Impossible Bitch 7169 on Reddit there. He says you seem like good guys and I enjoy the stream. Micky, Top Gun Maverick 44 on Reddit's got a question. Why don't you answer first?
On Reddit, what's your favourite vacation? What's your favourite vacation? Where else would you want to go? Oh, I like Greece. I love Greece. I know Steve disagrees with me because he likes the Canary Islands, but where else would I want to go? Nowhere really. I like it over there. People are friendly. It's fairly cheap. It's getting more expensive, but it's fairly cheap. And the people are absolutely fantastic. Lovely little islands around there. So yeah, that's me. And Steve will tell you it's the Canaries.
Well, I'm going to answer your question in reverse order, right? Where else would you want to go? Well, firstly, I've been very lucky over the years. I have gone everywhere on this planet that I've wanted to go, bar one place. In fact, I've been as far away from my home as it's possible to be without leaving the planet. I've actually been to the antipodes of London, so I've been all over the world. I've actually been around the world twice, once in one direction, once in the other direction. So I'm a very lucky person in that respect. So the only place that I want to go that I haven't been yet is Egypt. I want to see the pyramids.
Oh.
But I don't think that's a very safe thing to do at the moment. I think Egypt is a bit dodgy at the moment. So until I can absolutely guarantee the safety of my partner, I don't think I'll be going to Egypt. That's the only place I want to go. As Micky says, my favourite place to go is the Canary Islands. It's not just the Canary Islands; it's one Canary Island. I absolutely love Tenerife. Right, I absolutely love the island of Tenerife, and more importantly, the top of Mount Teide. Now, my absolute favourite thing in the world to do, which I probably am not ever going to do again, which is a shame. I did it in 2019, was the last time, and then COVID happened, and now my health's gone downhill. I'm probably never going to do it again, which is a shame. But there we go. I've come to terms with that. But my absolute favourite thing to do in the world is when we're at our hotel, I'd plonk my wife at the bar. I say wife, we're not married. I'd plonk my other half at the bar. I'd get in the hire car and I'd drive from our resort right up to the top of Mount Teide, as far as you could drive after dark. Now, it's about 15,000 feet up there. So you're well above the tree line. You're well above where animals live. And there's very few people that live up that high. You can live up that high, but there's very few people that actually live up that high. And you're very alone at night. The temperature drops to about -1, and you're very alone. So there's no animals, no insects, and because you're so far above all the light pollution, you've got absolutely beautiful dark skies. Now, it takes about an hour to drive from the bottom to the top of Teide. And in that time, as you're getting up there, because the oxygen's getting thinner, the car is working harder and harder and harder. So by the time you get to the top, the engine is quite hot. What I used to like doing is used to like parking up, getting out of the car, walking to the front of the car, and just laying back on the bonnet and letting the heat from the engine warm up. And I would look up at the stars. And unless you've done this, and you need to be somewhere like Colorado, in the United States, you need to be 14,000 feet up, or in the Andes, or in the Pyrenees. You need to be 14,000 feet up. Nowhere in this country you can do it. I mean, the tallest thing in this country is Ben Nevis, and that's only about 1,300 feet. No, it's not. It's, sorry, 1,300 meters, which is about 4,000 feet. And I just look up and you just look up at the stars, and it's like nothing you've ever seen or experienced before. It is the most beautiful thing in the world. That's why so many of the world's top observatories are on top of Teide, and there's just so many stars. In fact, there's so many stars in the sky you actually struggle to make out the constellations. There's that many stars, and you can actually see the Milky Way, and you get an idea of your position in the scheme of things. It makes you so insignificant, and that is my favourite place in the world. I hope that answers your question.
Top Gun.
Yeah, might have done. Yeah, okay. I actually fancy Nicola Sturgeon, but Nicola Sturgeon's a bit of a raver. But I can't talk to you about that because she's got a super injunction to stop people from talking about the fact that she has.
Both ways.
Yeah, we can't talk about that because of the super injunction. So yeah. But I would actually, I could actually throw Nicola Sturgeon onto the bed and shout, "Bite pillow, bitch." Do I think Scotland should part with the union? Yeah, I'm fed up with them whining. I'm fed up with the whinging, and I've said this to Nicola Sturgeon, right? Nicola Sturgeon, if she's really serious about Scotland leaving the union, she should let the English vote as well. Because if we voted, they'd definitely leave the union. They'd definitely be out because we are all so fed up with it, aren't we, Micky?
Oh yeah. As far as I'm concerned now, they can, if they want to, but I don't think that the majority of the Scottish people want to. I think it's just her and her party are just keep bashing on the same old drum. It's not just her, but the guy that, what was it, Salmon before her?
Salmon, yeah.
Banging on about the same old thing. They had a vote, 7 years ago? And the majority wanted to stay. And what's changed since then? But again, if they want to have another one, let them have another one.
Yeah.
Let them have the referendum. Like I say, give us the vote as well. And I think you'll probably find them out.
Give us the vote, and I guarantee Scotland will leave the union.
But we've discussed this before. What are they going to do then?
Yeah.
They want to rejoin the EU, but Once they're split from the Union of Great Britain, they're not going to meet the economic things that they need to join the EU.
They'll fail, but let them go.
So is what an Iron Man tattoo? What on Steve's arm? No, it's not. Fuck you says, I'm sorry, I'm just so curious about your past, so I'm just fishing. Your past lives are extremely fascinating to me. I think I've said this to you before, fuck you. One night I will sit and I will talk about my early life. But what I need to do is sit down and, if you like, just get it straight in my mind and get it, because, well, and then, yeah, perhaps I will. There are bits that I'll miss out, but you know, we'll get round there one night. Don't worry about that. And what drives you? Cabinet of Dr. Calamari. What drives you towards being who you are? Life has made me who I am. And that's the simple answer to that one.
I don't think anything drives me. I think I was driven years ago. My driving force in life was to bring up my family, to make sure that my family was brought up in a. I've got 4 children. To make sure 4 children were brought up in a decent way, which is also, somebody just said, "What's your biggest compliment?" And mine is bringing up 4 children. It's my biggest compliment. And thankfully, I've now got 11 grandchildren, which is great. 4 children, 11 grandchildren.
I've got 3. That's enough.
Yeah. So no, it's not an Ironman tattoo. It's actually a tattoo. It's actually a 3D. The camera's not picking it up too well, and I've really got to twist my arm to get round to it. It's a 3D tattoo. It's basically a piston, and it's the story behind it is quite simple. Back in 2017, in case you didn't know, I've got cancer. Back in 2017, I had my first chemotherapy, and that chemotherapy lasted for over a year. And I said at the end of the chemotherapy, I was going to get a tattoo to celebrate. Now, on my arm, underneath that tattoo is a love heart which says Steve and Sue. Sue is the name of my first wife. Now, it never bothered me having a woman's name on my arm, especially when I'm not married to her anymore. But I decided to have the tattoo covered up, and I decided to have a tattoo that meant something to me and not anybody else. So I looked at these 3D tattoos that people are having, and I decided that what I wanted one inside my arm. And I said to the tattoo artist, I said, "What do you recommend?" He said, "Well, let me do a piston." And he drew it up, and I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that." And so that was what I had on my arm. Now, the reason that I had it on my arm is it's related to the fact that I've got cancer, because if you look at the tattoo and you look inside, it's showing you that inside I'm not flesh and blood, I'm actually metal and mechanics. Because cancer doesn't affect metal and mechanics, it only affects organics. So it's my way of looking at it and saying, well, that's why cancer's not going to get me, because inside I'm mechanical. So does that answer your question about my tattoo? Cabinet of Dr. Calamari. Good evening, Go Plimpers. ON9239814 coming in hot drunk. Oh shit! Yeah, that's what I often say when I'm hot drunk. Mortal monkey, immortal. Was there? Oh, Goblin's fine. Okay, good, cool, Goblin. Right, Mortal Monkey Immortal on Reddit says, was there any significant event where you thought the day had gone wrong, but then actually one thing made it all better? Yes, yeah, it happened just recently, actually. The women's Euros cup final. When Germany scored and equalised, I really thought the day had gone completely wrong. I thought that's it. That's it over. But then we came back in extra time and we won the game, and that was actually the one thing that made it all better. So that was the most recent thing where I thought the day had gone wrong. Yeah, Micky knows what I'm talking about, doesn't he, Micky?
I do. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. My most.
Ghost Dog says James Spader on Reddit, and I've got no idea what he's talking about. Fuck you. Fuck you. Look, if you want to know anything about my past, just ask. All right, just ask. I'll be quite happy to tell you. Goblin says, "What women winning soccer? We don't call it goblin. Look, we don't call it soccer. We call it football." And I'll explain to you why we call it football. All right, this is very important. You understand this. Right, we call it football for a very simple reason. Right, football is two vowels. Football. Right, the first one, foot, means it's played with your feet. The second one is ball, which means they play it with a ball. So it's very descriptive. Football, yeah? That's why we call it football, because it actually describes exactly what it is. Now, in America, they've got something called American football. But it's not football, is it? First of all, they don't play it with their feet, they play it with their hands. So you can't really call it football, so you call it handball. Except they don't play it with a round ball, they play it with an oval, don't they? It's not really a ball, it's an oval. So it's not really handball, is it? It's hand oval. So that's the problem. Is the Americans have misnamed the sport. It should be called hand oval. We call it football because it is football. But the Americans should call it hand oval because that's exactly what it is. It's descriptive, isn't it? So that's why we don't call it soccer. It's football because it's a ball game that you play with your feet. And to stop the confusion, the Americans don't play football with their feet; they play it with their hands, and they don't play with a ball; they play it with an oval. So, I think that the Americans should rename it to American Hand Oval. That will stop any confusion. We call it football, and that's what it's going to be called forever. No matter how many times the Americans try and change it. Good evening, Fort Walton Bleach on Reddit there. Am I looking for a secretary? No, thank you. I'm just hexavalent chromium. Oh no, I've got no clue about that. Right, okay. Cabin to Dr. Kalari says you could rename it to boring as fuck. Are you talking about football or hand oval, calamari? What are you talking about?
Stream.
Hey?
Or even their stream. I don't think we're boring.
Micky, you've got a question on Twitch.
Oh, I've got one on Twitch, have I? What have we got over on Twitch?
Yeah.
What's with the little man above? It's like he's watching us. Well, I am watching you, but I'm also participating in the conversation as well. And you're right, I am a little man. All 5'6" of me.
Because this stream, right? Because this stream is
thank you very much.
Yeah, what free? You freeloader, Micky.
I'm freeloader.
Yeah.
Anything for nothing.
Yeah. Because this stream is going out on Reddit, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube are all in 16:9 landscape format, but Twitch is in not Twitch. Reddit is in 9:16 portrait format. And to make sure that you could see us both on the same screen, rather than having it side by side, I've got to put Micky above me there, purely down to Twitch. But that's all it is. And Twitch is the most popular one by a long, long way. And to give you an example, I mean, at the moment we've got 365 viewers on Reddit. We've got 1 on YouTube, none on Facebook, and 3 on Twitch. So it's Twitch. So Reddit tends to take priority there. Sorry, Micky?
The Randall's turned up. I'll just say evening to Randy on Reddit there. He's just turned up. Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah. Hi, Randy and the Randalls. Yeah. So, cabinet to Dr. Calamari. Does the Queen rule you? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, she's a figurehead.
She's a figurehead. Yeah, she's a figurehead.
We're actually ruled by Parliament.
Yeah. She rules by consent.
Yes.
Yeah. She rules by consent. So there we go. Goblin. I normally have a lady. That if you visit the stream on Monday, Goblin, you'll find that Tracy comes on as well to chat. There'll be three of us on Monday: me, Tracy, and Micky. So there we go. I noticed that Reddit have suddenly decided that they all want to insult the royal family. Well, fill your boots, knock yourselves out.
Carry on. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, they're not going to argue with you. Yeah, carry on. Go for it.
Although I think death to the Queen is a bit too much. Thank you.
Yeah. I wouldn't like
put death on anybody. Thanks.
Yeah. But knock yourselves out, people. Knock yourselves out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're a drain on our resources.
Yeah. It wouldn't matter to me if we were a republic or not. I don't hate the royals.
But then again, we'd have to have a president, which we still have to pay for. So it's just a change in one expense for another one, really.
Yeah.
Clarification. Gentleman on the lower screen, you look like Raymond Reddington, a character James Spader plays.
Okay.
I ain't got a clue.
No, I haven't got a clue. Is that in the blacklist by any chance? Just accuracy. Thank you for the award, Randy and the Randalls. I've got a special thank you for that. There we go. It's from that. Let's run that. There we go. No, you can't see what I'm doing there, Nicky, but Randy.
No, I can't, no.
But you can if you watch it on Reddit. Watch it on Reddit.
I am watching it on Reddit.
You'll see it in a couple of seconds because there's about a 90-second delay on Reddit. You'll see what I've just done. I've just thanked Randy and the Randalls for the thingy. Goblin says that the white men are generally Prince Charles' descendants from Vlad the Impaler. I've actually had 3 DNA tests done, and I've had it done with 3 different companies. And I can tell you now, there's no Vlad the Impaler in my genetic line, but I am related to James the First. All right, James. I'm not royal blood. I don't claim to be royal blood, but I am a direct descendant of James the First. Now, before you think, oh wow, that's fantastic, right? So are approximately 4 million other people that are alive today are related to James the First. But I just thought I'd mention that. I didn't realise that I looked anything like James Spader. I've seen James Spader in the blacklist a couple of times. My name's Woody, by the way, Woody. I've seen James Spader in the blacklist. I also remember him from the Stargate film, but I couldn't tell you if he looked like a character or not. So sorry. I mean, if I bear any resemblance to James Spader, that's I'll take that as a compliment. Calamari, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. So,
who do you think, Klein 643? Who do you think would be a good candidate for President of England? What about
Boris?
Perfect candidate, I should say. Or
well, Mick Jagger.
No.
I don't know. Boris Johnson would want that, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah.
And
then another anxious Sonny Senior on Reddit there. How many times a day is tea time? Whenever you want one, mate.
Yeah, whenever as many as you want.
As many as you want, whenever you
and
like.
whatever time you like. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a simple answer to that one.
Yeah, as many as you want and whenever you like. Yeah.
In fact, I think I need a refill.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
But she's gone to bed.
Yeah.
My instructions were keep the bloody noise down. So, exact words.
Goblin on Twitch says, it's all just a show if you ask me with Boris. I agree, it's all just a show.
Yeah.
Shit show. It's a real shit show.
I've just got a nip to the toilet, Steve. So
okay, I'll just kill your camera for a minute, Micky. Yes. I'll do that. Right. Okay, I'll just kill Micky's camera. I'm sure you don't want to see him taking a dump. Well, you might do, but that's the wrong channel for this. Let's have a look. Basic Bitcoin on Reddit says, "Do you ever still think about the one that got away?" I always think, for me, there's only one that ever got away. Um, there's only once ever got away. And that was my first girlfriend. That was the one that I lost my virginity to. She was the one that got away. After that, everyone that I wanted to have a relationship with, I had a relationship with, including 2 ex-wives, which means that I'm actually pretty shitty at relationships. There you go, Randy. You gave me an award again. So let's run my award thing. So let's run my award. There we go. There we go. So I've actually had relationships with everybody that I wanted to have a relationship with. Like I said, I've got 2 ex-wives now. I've been divorced twice, married twice, and divorced twice. It's like I say, it means I'm pretty shit at relationships. But the one that got away was my very first girlfriend. I was 16 and she was 15, and we both lost our virginity together with each other. And yeah, I sometimes think about her. She was the one that got away. She dumped me, and I've I sort of missed her. And I do think about her over the years, and I often wonder what's happened to her. So I do think about the one that got away. That's the one that got away. Calamari says, "Are any of your grandchildren for your ex-wife?" All of my children are from one woman. All of my children have the same parents. All right, all of my children have the same parents, which means that my wife, which means my grandchildren have the same grandparents. So that's something I'm quite proud of, which nowadays doesn't really happen because you not quite often get children that are half brothers and half sisters. No, all of my children are for the same woman, so all my children have the same parents, which mean all my grandchildren have the same grandparents. Client 643 says, "Did you listen to your virginity while listening to the Rolling Stones?" No, I lost my virginity while listening to Slade and ABBA. I've never been a Rolling Stones fan. I really haven't. I really haven't. I really don't enjoy the Rolling Stones. Um, yes, Goblin. That was my first true love. That was the one that got away. And I often wonder what would happen if we'd have stayed together. And over the years, I've often considered looking her up. I've often considered seeing if he's on Facebook, but I'm not that nosy a person. I figure that if he wants to have anything to do with me, he'll find me and contact me. If he doesn't, then she doesn't want to have anything to do with me. So I'm not going to go and chase her up and say, "Hello, do you remember me? I took your virginity 50 years ago." Like I say, she dumped me, so that. And I see I've got another award, so let's just run my award thing again. There we go. That's a thank you. I wish it could. I wish it could say Twitch. Goblin says, "I know." Goblin on Twitch says, "I know I was going crazy then, like I was so jealous of single people. I, I've never enjoyed being single for a little while there. After me and my first wife split up, I was left with 4 kids to bring up 4 kids. She walked out on me and my 4 children. So for a little while there, I was a single parent for about 5 years, and it's nothing to be jealous of because I had to give up work and I lost my house because I had to give up work. I couldn't afford to pay my mortgage, and I lost my house. So I couldn't afford to pay my mortgage, so my house was repossessed. Thanks to my ex-wife. So no, I'm not being jealous of single people. I enjoy being in a relationship. I'm in a relationship now with a lovely woman who I've been with for 13 years. So yeah, I know. Tell me about it, Micky. Um, we've known each other longer than 13 years. We've known each other nearly 20 years. But I've only been in a relationship. Can I put your camera back on, Micky? All right. I've been in a relationship with her for 13 years, and I'm glad. I'm glad for that. So yeah, I'm I'm struggling to think of things to say. This is why I like to share my stream with like the man above me. Let's have a look. I'm not a hater of Mick Jagger. I just didn't like the Rolling Stones music. I still don't. I still don't. I still don't like the Rolling Stones music. They've not. I'm not a hater. I just don't like their music. I like some of the Who stuff, but not completely the Who. But I was from a different generation. I grew up in a different musical environment to the Rolling Stones and the Who. But
Now, I love Pink Floyd. I did, even back then, even till today. I love Pink Floyd. Very progressive.
I've got to say, right, Pink Floyd, right. Everybody raves about their LP, The Dark Side of the Moon. Right?
No.
Absolute shit.
No, that's not the best. No.
Absolute shit. The only track of Pink, the only thing that Pink Floyd have ever done that comes anywhere near decent is Brick in the Wall.
Oh, that's probably a word. I hate that song. I hate that song. But that was probably their most commercial song.
Well, it worked. It worked.
Randy Randall wants to know what hobbies you have outside streaming. I don't have any, really. I mean, I build my own computer. I maintain my family's computers, but I'm recently retired and I'm looking for things to do. So if you've got any ideas what I can be doing, then please chuck them up on the screen.
I make plastic model kits. I also blink with my air rifles in the garden. I've got some air rifles and air pistols. I've never shot. By the way, I've never shot a living creature. I never will. I literally just shoot paper targets and nothing else. And I make videos. And like I say, if you look on my YouTube, you'll see the videos that I make.
You do a bit of brewing as well, don't you, Steve?
Sorry?
You do a bit of brewing as well. Brew your own.
I do brew my own beer, but I've had to stop that recently because there's a shortage of CO2 at the moment, thanks to the Ukrainian war. So I've had to stop brewing my own beer. So I do brew my own beer. The basic Bitcoin on Reddit says what brought me to streaming. I've already answered that once in this stream, but I'll answer it again. I had cancer. I had follicular lymphoma, which means that it's an incurable cancer. It also means that it's a cancer of the immune system, which means that I'm very immunocompromised. So when the COVID pandemic started in March 2020, the medical advice was give up work, get indoors, stay indoors, and keep away from people, which is exactly what I did. Because if I catch COVID, and I haven't caught COVID yet, which is very dangerous for me because I've got blood cancer. It's very, very dangerous for me still. So I had to come indoors and I had to keep away from people. Now I'm by nature a very social person, and it was doing my head in, just sitting indoors, watching TV, chatting to my wife, which I don't mind. She's a lovely person. She's not my wife, but I call her my wife. She's a lovely person. I can chat to her all day long, but when you're chatting to one person all the time, you seem to go over the same things over and over again. And I accidentally, when I was playing about on Reddit, I accidentally discovered streaming. And I thought, okay, that seems like a good thing to do. So that's how I got into streaming, because streaming has become my pseudo social life. Talking to you guys is what keeps me sane. It's actually the social life that I would have had. I see this as like I'm down the pub talking to you guys. So that's why I'm. That's what got me into streaming. Fort Walton Bleach says the knowledge you put into this. Yeah, I get this a lot, Fort Walton Bleach. I get this a lot, that people say, well, you must have knowledge, especially from youngsters. I mean, the other day somebody said, did I get my grandchildren to set it all up for it? But the answer is no. No, I didn't get my grandchildren to set it up. You seem to forget, what people seem to forget is it's our generation, mine and Micky's, that actually invented the computer. And if you think about it, everything we're using from streaming here was invented in our generation or before our generation. Like the video camera was invented 60 years ago. The computer was invented 60 years ago. So all modern technology has done is put all these things together. And I mean, I cut my teeth on computers back in the 1980s. My very first computer, I bought. We called it Tandy in this country. You called it Radio Shack in the United States. I bought my very first computer, which is a one-play Sinclair computer that you had to build yourself. So you got it in a kit from Tandy, got it home and built yourself. And then I had a Sinclair Spectrum, a Commodore Amiga.
Spectrum.
Yeah.
And a Commodore 64 as well.
I had a Commodore Amiga.
But then with those, you used to wait about half an hour for the old tape to load, and then it would crash. So you'd have to start all over again. You'd spend about 5 hours loading for a little couple of pixels bouncing across the screen. Those were the days.
Yeah. and then in the late 80s, the PC became the de facto machine. So I switched from the Amiga to the PC, and I've been on the internet since 1992, and I've been around PC since the late 1980s. So it's over the years, obviously you pick up technical knowledge. I mean, my God, Windows 3.1.1 for work groups. I remember what a PC was like before Windows ever existed, when you had to use MS-DOS. And then Windows 3.1.1 came in, and that was like a breath of fresh air. But that's changed so much over the years. It's just knowledge you picked up. Dr. Caramari says, have you ever done kiddie coke? I'm sorry, I've got no idea what kiddie coke is. No, I've got no idea what kiddie coke is. So I'll answer that and say, have I ever done any hard drugs? No. The only drugs that I did used to smoke cannabis. I don't smoke cannabis anymore. I gave up smoking 3.5 years ago. Goblin on Twitch says, you guys do programming. Yes, I do programming. I can program in Visual Basic. I can program in C++, and I'm currently teaching myself to program in Python, which I'm getting pretty good at. Or I can also program in Java. But that's something that I'm doing in my spare time, because I'm waiting for Arpan Studio, which is the software I'm using on Reddit. They have promised that they're going to release the source code so that we can play about with it. As soon as I've got my hand on the source code, I want to use a couple of Python scripts to make everything work together, so I don't have to have two different screens and two different programs running. I can run one program and I can have to chat all on one program rather than one program and client. That comes back to That comes back to what I said before about why I'm streaming. Why do I like computers so much? Because the computer is my social life. I've been active around bulletin boards, groups, same as Micky, message boards, groups, bulletin boards, for most of my adult life. No client, no Goblin, not a live chat overlay at the moment. Right, you're on Twitch, so if somebody, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook are all being broadcast on one account. So if somebody says if somebody says it on Twitch, anybody watching on Facebook can see what you're saying. Anybody watching on YouTube can see what you're saying. But because Reddit is being broadcast on a separate account, you can't see what anybody on Reddit is saying, and Reddit can't see what you're saying, which is why I have to keep telling people on Reddit, telling people like you what people on Reddit are saying. And I want to pull it all together with a Python script, so I've got all the chat together in one, so that everybody can see everybody else. So I'm not having to constantly repeat that. Fort Walton Bleach knows about what I'm talking about. DOS 6. Well, I remember DOS 3 is where I came into it. Why do I like computers so much? It's the very same reason. That they allow me to socialise and communicate. Goblin, I think there's a plugin for YouTube. There is. I'm using it. Like I said, if somebody goes onto Facebook, right, Micky, have you got Facebook running?
Yeah, I've got Facebook running.
Micky, type something on Facebook. Micky's just going to type something on Facebook.
Sorry, I haven't got your stream up. Let me just get that.
Micky's going to type something on Facebook, Goblin, and you'll see it come up on your chat. Randy and the Randalls have just given me an award, so there you go. This is my special award. Thank you. And so Mickey will do that. Right. I love you too, Randy and the Randalls. So I think I've answered most of your questions. I think. I'm like Boris Johnson fielding answers at fielding. Yeah.
On question time.
Yeah. Press conference. Yeah.
Trying to find
Yeah. Yeah. What he thinks I'm a liar, does he, Mickey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to find the bloody
So,
screen.
so concept of popular belief, right? The computer game isn't a young person's game. You've got to imagine that most computer pioneers. I mean, imagine Bill Gates, right? Invented Windows. He's older. He's in his 70s now, isn't he, Mickey?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, yeah.
Tim Berners-Lee, the guy that invented the World Wide Web, he's in his 70s as well. So all these things that have been invented by other people that allow us to do what we're doing comes from my generation. Yeah. Randy Rocket, eh? So I think Mickey's on. Are you there yet, Mickey?
I'm not on Facebook, no, but I mean, I'm on YouTube, which will still do the same thing.
Okay, yeah. Go on YouTube. Type something on YouTube for Goblin there. It's just and you'll see what I mean, Goblin. Mickey will type on YouTube and you'll see it come up. Hopefully. There we go. Oh no, it's Goblin's done it. So there we go. Right. Yeah, I thought Walton Beach about 10 years behind me, so he knows what I'm talking about. I'm 62, so that Charles Babbage kind of helped. Charles Babbage invented the mechanical computer or computing engine. There you go, Goblin. You see, you can see what Mickey's saying on Facebook, even though you're on Twitch. So I'm using that plugin. I just need to extend it to Reddit, which is why I'm losing Python, because I need to use WebSockets for that. And until I can get hold of the source code for RPAN Studio, which is the software for Reddit, I can't actually get the WebSockets in because at the moment it doesn't accept WebSockets. I'm just going to go to the toilet, so I'm going to leave you all in Mickey's capable hands.
Thank you. You won't get a lot out of me, I'm afraid. Flying 643, what's your favourite brand of tea? Is it subsidised by the government? None of our tea is subsidised by the government. And my favourite brand is which my wife hates. It's called Yorkshire tea, which is a very, very strong tea, very dark. But my wife likes a lighter one, so we just go with the local supermarket one, basically, because that's all she'll drink. Get me on what? And you were talking about programming and things like that. I can't program, to be fair. I only came into, I think I had my first computer probably about 20 years ago, or my first PC. My kids had to show me how to turn it on, to be fair. But now they come to me if they've got any problems. I build them for them, I repair them for them, and do all the maintenance on them for them. So, yeah, that's my bit of PC. And I haven't got the knowledge that Steve's got to do all this streaming. Although he is doing a series, which you can find on his Woodies, about using DaVinci, is it?
DaVinci Resolve, yeah.
DaVinci Resolve. He's actually doing tutorials on there, which I'm looking at. Hopefully be able to get my head round that and perhaps do a bit of my own. We'll see how it goes.
For those who don't know, DaVinci Resolve is a very powerful editing program. Although if you look at the one that I released today, Mickey, that's probably way, way above your level, because that's for anybody that's got a 360-degree camera that wants to reframe it, and you've got no idea what I'm talking about, but that's fine. My favourite brand of tea is Tetley. No, it's not subsidised by the government. I don't actually drink a lot of tea. I'm a coffee person. Ghost Dog, we're both behind green screens. So that's why it looks like we're in the same pub, because we're both behind green screens.
Although we are actually about 110 miles apart.
Yep. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel awkward first using the computers? Well, I did. I did at first, to be fair. I mean, bear in mind when I first started, we were on dial-up when we first started, Steve.
Oh yeah.
So when you're on dial-up, nobody could ring you, and nobody could ring out and use the telephone because it all came down the phone line. But like I say, now, no, I'll pull it apart. In fact, this one I've got to do because the power supply is playing up. I'm surprised it hasn't gone off yet. Every now and again, it'll just turn itself off. I've got a new one which I ordered from Scan Computers, which arrived the other day. It's just a matter of getting it apart and replacing the power supply. It's the plug socket on the back is come loose at some stage, and it just switches itself off. So if I disappear for any reason, that'll be it. It'll be the power supply. I'm quite capable of doing stuff like that. Like I say, the machine I'm on, I built myself, so we've got no problem.
Goblin is heading. Whoops, Goblin is heading out to the pub. Well, you've got to be in Australia or New Zealand then, Goblin. Because you can't be in the UK.
What, 11:15?
Yeah, 11:15.
Well, it depends where he's going.
But you've got to be in Australia or New Zealand, surely. Yeah. You can't be in the UK unless you're going to a shut pub. I mean, you didn't say you were going to an open pub. I mean, the pubs are shut now. But yeah, have a nice time. Enjoy yourself at the pub. I wish I could go out of the pub, but like I say, I'm actually stuck indoors. Unable to.
Later on in the year, Steve, we'll get you up here and we'll go to the fucking pub.
Yeah.
My wife's scared. Client 643. I was scared of computer. My wife is still terrified of computer. She won't use it in case she breaks it. I said anything that you can't break it. If you crash it, then I can sort it out. It's not a problem. But no, she won't even touch it. She's technophobe, is my wife, I'm afraid. Still lives in the fucking 70s, 80s, I think. 5 p.m. in the United States. Yeah, it will be about 6 hours behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it depends which side of the coast you're on, I suppose.
Yeah.
The third person isn't here tonight, Eiffel Tower 777. She couldn't make it tonight, but she will be here on Monday. Just put a plug in for her.
Yeah. Balancing her dumplings on my head. I just realised, Micky, the title says. I forgot to change the title on Reddit. The title says 3 old people ask us anything. So.
Well, you should change that to 1 old person and Micky. Really.
I can't change it. I can't.
Stopping the stream and reach out.
It's one of the things that I hate about Reddit, that I can't change the stream title midstream. I have to stop it, change it, and then restart it.
And anyway, our glamour person, she'll be back on Monday. So if you want to tune in up Monday about the same time, she'll be here.
Yeah.
Oh dear, excuse me. That's lack of tea. I keep sliding down in my chair again, Steve. I'll disappear under my desk in a minute. 41 on a bleach says he can be the 3rd old person. Almost old. Well, it's not almost. You're either old or you're not. There's no almost.
Being old is fine.
Pretenders. We cannot have pretenders on this stream. Sorry, no. Doesn't work like that. You should record Tracy's laugh as a laugh track. Actually, you're right. Yes, it's quite infectious, Klein 643, isn't it?
I could do that. I could do that right now.
You can put it on a loop. And then when you put your lazy's face on, just put her laugh over the top.
Yeah.
Looks like James Spader, sounds like Michael Caine, said Ghost Dog. My name is Michael Caine.
I was born in the same part. I'm a Cockney. I was born in the same part of London as Michael Caine was.
It's within the sound of the Bow Bells, isn't it? A Cockney?
Yeah. I was born in a Marlin, well, just off the Marlin Road.
Yeah.
Didn't realise I looked like James Spader, though. That does surprise me. I know James Spader is. I wouldn't have said I look like James Spader. Hey?
I'm going to have to Google him now.
Did you ever see... Did you ever see the film starring film Stargate SG-1 starring Kurt Russell?
No.
You've never seen the film Stargate SG-1?
No.
Blimey. Okay.
No interest, mate. No interest.
Well,
I can see a bit of it there. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
You can see why I look like James Spader, can you?
Well, we've got the same haircut.
Well, yeah, everybody of my age has got the same haircut because we're all going fucking bald.
You got specs on the same as him.
Michael Caine's accent is Cockney like mine.
And I'm looking on your favourite site, of course, at him. Wikipedia.
No.
And Michael Caine is a Cockney accent.
Right, just to let you people know, I'm gonna. It's now 11:22. I'm gonna end the stream at 11:30. Because
your throat pain.
I'm actually I'm actually not very well. I know it sounds strange, and it's starting to catch up on me, so I'm gonna have to end the stream for that reason. Because I can't carry on much longer. So let's go through. Let's go through a lot of questions. Wikipedia is the biggest load of shit on the planet. All right, I have a Wikipedia. There's a Wikipedia entry about me, right, and it's the biggest load of shit going. Basically, almost everything in the Wikipedia entry about me is incorrect. All right, and I have repeatedly told Wikipedia to change it, and they repeatedly said, "Well, we can't without proof." And I said, "Well, what fucking proof do you want on me?" All right,
you should be able to edit it.
I do edit it, and then they change it and edit it back to what it was.
Oh.
They haven't got where I live right. They haven't got the number of children I've got right. It's just a fucking. It's just the biggest. If Wikipedia told me my penis was on fire, right, I would wait until I smelt burning testicles before I believed them. It's so inaccurate. It's unbelievable. But my Wikipedia entry is completely dark. And every time I try to edit it, they change it back again, and I don't understand it. Klein 643, if you want to sing "God Save the Queen" at the end of this stream, you be my guest. You sing it loud and proud. I don't sing it.
I won't be joining you though.
No, I won't be joining you. Okay.
No.
I don't even sing it at big football matches. I don't sing the national anthem. I stand for the national anthem, but I don't sing it.
No, I stand. I do, yeah.
But I don't sing it. Okay.
No.
But I do stand for it because that's a mark of respect. That's not a mark of respect to the Queen. That's a mark of respect that it's your national anthem. You know what I mean, don't you, Micky?
I do know. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
I thought it was about opening editing. Ghost Dog said, "Well, it is." But then
it is, but you can't correct it if something's wrong, and it is absolutely. Like I say, my Wikipedia entry is ridiculous. So I gave up years ago trying to edit it because it's completely wrong. So I just don't bother anymore. And everything else that I've looked on Wikipedia is partially incorrect. It's just amazing how wrong that thing is, and I would never dream of using Wikipedia as a serious reference source ever. All right, okay. I used to go out with a girl, Klein. I used to go out with a girl that she used to sing. She was an American. She used to sing Star Spangled Banner every time she orgasmed, which meant I was like hearing it 20 times a night. It's absolutely crazy. I'm serious, Micky. She did. She would actually come and sing it at the same time. It's just,
I can't believe 20 times a night, mate.
Oh, well, no, all right. Well, that was a slight exaggeration. Call it maybe 10.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I actually think Jerusalem should be our national anthem.
So do I.
I think Flying Cheese is like a national anthem. I do think Jerusalem would be a much better national anthem than God Save the Queen.
Steve. Every other nation theirs is upbeat. Ours is a dirge.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, I do like Jerusalem. I do. This green and pleasant land. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not far wrong, are they? Ghost Dog likes the Emerson, Lake and Palmer version. Yeah, that's quite a good version. That is quite a good version. Eel Peak. Oh. I saw an interview the other day with Greg Lake. I actually thought he was dead, but he's not. But yeah, I remember Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They had some good tracks in the 70s. Didn't that give you ED? Listen to Star Spangled Banner. No, it didn't give me erectile dysfunction. Listen to Star Spangled Banner. It just made me want to Gagger. And then when I finally did Gagger, I suddenly realised that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
She quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. Ball gag, didn't you, mate?
Yeah. Yeah, she quite enjoyed it, especially when I started using the ball gag.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can't remember.
What, Carl Palmer you're talking about?
I can't remember her name. Fucking hell.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it was 25 years ago, but I can't remember her name.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. Oh, dementia's got her. How can I not remember her name? That'll come to me when I'm doing something else. Oh yeah, I thought Greg had gone. Yeah, I thought Greg had gone. Because I was reading an article about him the other day, and it said that he'd gone, so I thought he'd gone. Yeah. I can't quite remember what the article was about, but I was reading about it. So yeah. They're a good group, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. A couple of other good groups about the time. Bread. That was. Do you remember Bread, Micky?
Oh, I remember Bread. Yeah.
Yeah. They were about the same time as Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Gallagher and Lyle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a syrup, but that's Tate and Lyle.
No, that's Tate and Lyle. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, her name wasn't Jennifer Anderson. For the life of me, I can't remember her name now. She had ginger hair. She was a dinga. Yeah.
Can't remember her face, but you remember the back of her head.
I remember the back of her head. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah. She had a tramp stamp.
Did she?
Yeah, she had a tramp stamp. Yeah.
Right. Oh dear.
Right in that bit of her back, right where the back, just before it becomes her bum, she had a tramp stamp. Yeah. Yeah, it was for me. It was a direction arrow. Yeah. Oh dear. Over the top. Right. It's now 23:29, so 11:30. So it's time for me to say goodbye to you, good people. I'm sorry I can't stay any longer. But I'm really not feeling up to it. So we've been at it for how long? We've been at it for 1 hour 46 minutes. So we've been at it for quite a while. Thank you for the award, Fort Walton Bleach. There we go. 1 hour 46 minutes, which I'm quite surprised about, actually. Yes, I know. Heart on your sleeve. That was a big hit, wasn't it, Gary and Lyle? Wear your heart on your sleeve. I like that one. Right. On that note, I'm going to say thank you for the awards. I just thanked you. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye to you. So goodbye to YouTube, goodbye to Facebook, goodbye to Twitch, and goodbye to Reddit. Micky, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah. Goodbye, all. We'll be back on Monday night. Don't forget to tune in, and we'll have some more questions. Or you can ask us more questions to answer.
Yeah. Tracy,
stay safe, people.
Tracy will be with us on Monday night. So, goodbye all. 1 second, Micky.
Yeah, good.